right, guys, welcome to another amazing episode of Recipe for Disaster. Thank you guys for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Before we get started, let's go ahead and just jump into some very quick announcements. Want to thank Endearing Films. Thanks, Chuck, for doing everything in the back end, making it so we can still stream during this quarantine time period, as well as making sure that all of the problems are taken care of in the back end. Do appreciate
Thank you, Chuck.
that. We also want to thank Goth Mom for the wonderful patches and buttons, and Four Eyes Ales. We look forward to getting some more brews from you sometime in the near future. Aside from that, I think that's going to cut it for the announcements for right now, and we can go ahead and get started. Last week, the group finished off with who was going to have the mystical item that they had found in the swamp, and it turned out to be Mongoose, as he tried bonding with it and had an encounter. The group then went back to Justice's headquarters, decided to go to sleep for a little bit, and then wake up early in the morning and get together for a round of beat on trouble. Sparring, beat on Mongoose, as both Jonah and Shard teamed up against Mongoose, and that was pretty much the everything that was involved with that. And that's where we ended the last episode. Is the sparring was finished, and you guys were looking at maybe getting some breakfast or doing something like that. I know the whole time. Yes, Trevor.
Oh, I was just going to comment on how, without throwing a punch, I won by technical decision.
Correct. You did win by technical decision without throwing a punch. The whole time, Barnabas was watching while he was enjoying his breakfast, and he was able to get the point breakdown. Bill, I'm not sure what he was doing.
He's probably in the shower.
Yeah, he was showering the whole time.
It pretty much had him in the shower / sleeping. So that was pretty much it for.
That sounds like Bill.
So yeah, do want to also thank. Before I jumped too far ahead, I forgot to thank Hairball and Dragon Jump for being wonderful subscribers. I do appreciate that. So, and I also want to thank everyone through the chat. That being said, let's go ahead and get started with this week's episode of Recipe for Disaster. What do you guys do? You just finished your sparring for the three of you. What do you guys do?
I go find the bathroom.
Okay. So you head back to the room to find the restroom. How about the other two?
Remind me what the guy's name that ran the simulation?
Kilgrave.
AI's. What was it?
Kilgrave.
Kilgrave. I'm gonna go try to find Kilgrave and talk to him.
Okay, so you're standing in the training room, and what do you just gonna start walking around?
What do I see? Any other doors other than the door that we came in?
No, everything else is pitch black.
Oh, he hasn't even turned on the lights?
No.
Ah. Hey, Kilgrave, can you turn on the lights, please?
So I take it your training is done.
I think so. I mean, he just left to go to the bathroom, and then...
I'm unconscious.
Is still here, but down. So, yeah, I think we're done. I mean, unless you want me to beat him to a pulp, I'd rather not do that. That doesn't sound fun to me.
Very well. And the lights come back up in the room, and or lights turn on in the room. So for the first time, you can see the area, physically see the area that you were in. You guys are all standing on literally pedestals. Other than there is an easy way to walk back to the door, but the drop off is a good 20-foot fall.
Nice. Is there a way you can raise these or lower these platforms so that I can walk around? I kind of want to talk to you in person.
You can talk, I can answer. I'm not sure about the in-person that you wish to speak of.
See, that's what I was kind of wanting to talk to you about. I was curious as to what being an AI feels like. Do you enjoy it? Do you know of anything else in your life? Is there anything else that you got going on for you? Do you have a girlfriend, maybe?
I see. You see his physical representation show up, about 6'2", bald, blue eyes, muscular build underneath the very tight bodysuit he's wearing. Is this better for you?
Sure, but you didn't answer any of the questions.
The other questions don't matter. This is a training facility. I'm here to help you train.
So do you do anything else besides train people?
No, that's my job.
Okay. Cool. So then, yeah, I guess I'll just go bend over and pick up Jack. I guess I'll just go, and then we both leave.
Okay. So as soon as you guys leave the training room, Jack, you wake up. You're being carried by Jonah. Thank you. Sorry, my brain just decided to go on hiatus. You're being carried by Jonah as you come to, and you're in the hallway. You feel perfectly fine, by the way.
While I was unconscious, did anything happen that would be important of note?
Such as? Oh, you mean like a meeting of minds, if you will?
Yeah.
No, there was none of that. You just had a moment of blackness.
So normal sleep for me.
Yes. Yeah, normal sleep for you.
So, are you going to be keeping it by chance?
Keeping what?
Hence why.
Oh, that really happened then.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember it. I would figure you'd probably remember it too.
Well, wait. So what happened? We're training, right? What happened?
Well, kind of hard to say. I had an out-of-body experience at one point, but I don't know if that was me or her. But then I heard a voice, so I figured it was probably her. Or remind me, is it a him or a her? That's the voice.
Her.
Her. Okay. So yeah, I remember that sounded somewhat familiar to the same voice that I heard when I had it. So I figured it was probably about the same thing in general. So yeah, what do you think? You gonna keep it?
But so I can still be knocked unconscious, but I can't sleep.
You can't sleep. I remember that. It's
Right.
It's a pain in the butt. Part of the reason why I took her off. Just ignore the other part about me having low will.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no,
not low will, high will. It was low psyche, I think.
Nimbus. No, yeah, yeah, of course I'm gonna be keeping her. Why wouldn't I?
Because you'll probably go crazy at some point. I mean, you're kind of already a little crazy, but crazier.
I mean, I'm gonna use it as an opportunity to train as much as I can, and then when this is all over in a month or two, then I have my other obligation, and we'll see how things go from there. For all I know, we'll be dead in 3 months.
Yeah, it's possible, I suppose. How do you think your other obligation is going to handle you devoting yourself to someone else now? Or something else, I guess.
You know, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. Alright, so we just gonna go back to the room? I believe that's where.
I'd
Sure.
like to go to that library.
Sorry, what was that?
I'd like to go to that library.
Oh, there's a library here.
I don't know. I figured they probably have books somewhere.
What was the AI's name that helped us out getting over here?
1 moment. Let me pull that back up.
I think I actually wrote it down, so give me a moment too.
Hey, Trevor, you sound a little muffled.
I will try to adjust that.
Thank you.
Maybe I didn't write it down. I thought I did.
I'd like to leave the shower.
Okay, yeah, her name was Helen.
All right, Helen, do you mind just guiding us to the library?
Of course. As you see you'd see orange line light up brighter. Please follow the orange line.
Thank you. I take Jack's arm under mine and guide him towards the library.
Okay. Meanwhile, Bill and Barnabas, you guys, Bill, you come out of the shower. I'm assuming that you took clothes into the shower with you. It's a group shower, and everyone was sleeping in basically a bunkhouse. So I'm assuming you're coming in quote unquote dressed, meaning you took Blue in there with you, and he's got clothes for you for when you come out of the shower. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm afraid of what Blue sees during the off time.
Yeah. Right. I mean, there's just certain things that you and him probably don't talk about.
Yeah, pretty much.
That being said, you come walking back into the room. Barnabas, you saw the fight. You have a chance to do whatever. And as Bill comes walking into the room, Lady Amherst would also come walking in.
So,
How's it going?
did I miss?
I did not hear what you said. Try it again.
What did I miss?
Nothing.
So
That's
it
you.
looks like Justice has been able to analyze the compound that you gave him.
And
He would like to meet with you guys to talk about it. He's asked me to come down, have that conversation.
So, just communicate with everybody?
Yeah, so as soon as you
Yeah.
can gather your people up,
yeah, let's get everybody together.
Say, hey everybody, we're meeting at such and such place.
We could just have them all meet us here, right?
But
I
we
mean,
have to.
we all have connected. We all still have our
Or,
earpieces, right?
I apologize. Where is such and such place?
so are you eavesdropping?
No, you said it on the mic.
Get away to the room. Yeah, you're eavesdropping.
I mean, we're in the mess hall, right? Let's just have I'm just gonna push my button. All right, everybody, meet at the mess hall. We got important business to discuss.
Wow.
Helen, can you direct me to the mess hall, please?
Talking all over me all this time.
Well, up to you, Jack. Do you want to still go to the library or go back to the room or mess hall?
What? Why? What's going on? What's in the mess hall?
I don't know. People are asking to.
Justice wants to talk to us. Our illustrious host wants to talk to us about the sample that we gave him to Brad and I.
Yeah, that.
Hey, Helen, can you direct me to the mess hall, please?
Sure. You're like almost at the main room, the room that you guys were coming from where the bathroom
Okay.
is. as you ask this. So she goes, yes, I could do that. Do you not need to use the facilities?
I'll use the facilities and head on out.
Okay. Then when you are done with facilities, follow the pink line.
Thank you. So it goes in, does the
Wow.
business, and hits the mess hall.
Okay, so you guys in the room see Shard come walking in. You see Lady Amherst standing there. Shard, you see Lady Amherst with the other two, and she goes, so I guess we're going to the mess hall then?
Apparently. Guys, you're asked a question.
Jack, what do you want to do?
No,
I
no,
mean,
no,
I still don't know what's going on, but I'm on your shoulder, so
Okay.
I don't know if I really have a choice.
She looked at Barnabas and Bill and said, so we're going to the mess hall then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking to somebody else behind me.
No, it's okay. Yeah, so
All
I
right.
guess you guys... Yeah?
It's a good place to meet, and I'm hungry.
I didn't hear you.
You're always
Quincy.
hungry.
It's a good place to meet, and I'm also hungry.
After
So
you-
that works out.
Quincy, you were starting to say something?
I'm being constantly overtopped by Shadow Fox here. So, yeah. Well, never mind. Let's go.
Okay, so the three of you head out while Shard steps into the bathroom. Meanwhile, the other two, Jonah, are you going to just ask to go to the mess hall then, or what's going on?
So, Jack, do you still want to go to the library, or do you want to go to the mess hall? I don't mind one way or the other.
I still don't understand what's going on. I don't have.
There's a meeting with Lady Amherst. You heard all of it on your headset.
I don't have a headset.
Didn't you get a new helmet?
I'm not. Am I wearing a helmet right now?
I don't know.
The answer is no. I don't even have glasses anymore.
Okay. Well,
I should take these off because I don't have them.
once again,
anymore.
it's a meeting with Lady Amherst and Justice to talk about something in the mess hall. Or we could go to the library.
Well, if they wanted to talk to us in the mess hall, then we should probably go to the mess hall.
Okay, to the mess hall we go. Helen, do you mind guiding us to the mess hall?
Of course, follow the pink line.
Pink, huh? Okay. Pink line it is.
Okay, so the group converges at the mess hall, with the last one getting there being Shard. On the way there, Lady Amherst to go, I'll meet you guys there. I've got to go deliver Justice. And so she goes down a different hallway on the way there. So you guys get there before Justice and any of them get there. You guys walk in, there's a huge table. It looks like it has been moved. Like all of the tables have been moved to the middle, so you guys would have a bigger area to talk at. This is not the huge meeting room that Justice originally met you guys in. But it looks like all the tables have been moved together to provide a huge table for you guys to meet. As you walk in, you see one of the AIs standing there. He's about 5'10", golden blonde hair, very fit. You guys recognize him as Apollo. For anyone that sees him, of course, Trevor, you don't see him. He's like, welcome. What would you like to eat?
What do you have?
Food?
Just everything?
Whatever you want, we can replicate it.
Gator.
How much?
2 pounds worth.
I'll take 2 packets of ramen.
Cooked, I'm assuming?
Oh, no, I like to crunch it up and then eat it like chips.
Snack
very well.
ramen's the best.
Very well. He hands you the ramen. He looks at Jonah and goes, Your deer will be on the table. I'm assuming you want that cooked?
Of course. Who eats
Very well.
gator raw? That's weird.
Very well. And
So-
so you...
When I walk in, does he ask me the same question?
Hold on. You're not there yet. So you guys would see the meal appear on the table that Jonah had asked for. He looks. Anyone else hungry? I know it's breakfast. Some of you have already eaten in your rooms.
Yeah, I'll
But-
take a scramble of some taters. Let's get some eggs as well as some blood sausage, maybe some ham. I could also go for like a pot pie if you've got any of that lying around.
Very well, and that appears on the table as well. Let me know if you need anything, and then he vanishes.
Hey,
Sure.
Rafa.
Yes, exactly. That's the stuff.
Shard, you come walking in, and no one greets you. You see everyone sitting at the table.
Okay. So he comes in and he takes a seat at the table.
A few moments after you get there, you would see Lady Amherst come walking in, obscurity behind her. They would go sit down across from you guys, actually closer to you guys than anywhere else. And Lady Amherst goes, we're going to have a few people you guys don't know show up, so don't panic.
With a mouthful of gator, I'm going to be going, what is it going to be, the Justice League?
Yeah, pretty much. The League is going to be here.
Awesome.
And almost as if on cue, you guys would see Justice come in. Immediately behind him, you would actually see Andrew Andrews. And then goes,
Hey, I know you.
yeah,
No, you don't.
so, how? He looks at you kind of with a confused look on his face. I mean, I've read up on some of you guys now, but I don't know how you know me.
We go
way
way
enough.
back.
Let's
Wait, you
not
read
mess
up on
with
us?
the timey-wimey stuff, because you might rewrite yourself out of history, just like you wrote yourself into
Oh.
history.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we go way back, but you don't know.
You've read up on us? What does that mean exactly?
I mean, that's what I do. I look into people that are meeting with the League.
Have you read up on me?
Yeah, I got some questions. Let's just say that.
Let's talk sometime.
The next few people that walk in it almost looks like some teenagers skipping school. So you've got a guy. He's about 5'7". He's got black curly hair, violet eyes. Looks like he might be 17 if he's lucky. Very, very thin build. He's got his hands in. He's wearing like a black hoodie and jeans. He's got his hands in his pockets, sort of like shuffling in. The hood's down so you can see his hair in his face. And the lady that walks in with him, she looks about the same age as he is. She's a little bit shorter. She's like 5'4". She's got very stunning green eyes, and she has her hair is short cut on the sides, like buzz cut, and you see like white streaks in it. With the rest is brown hair, and then the top of her hair is all like pulled back into a ponytail. She's wearing like punk rock clothes. She's got like a cool choker with spikes.
Choker. How do you know her?
After them, a guy in what looks like almost medieval armor walks in, and he sits down, and then the last person to enter is another young lady. She's got like blonde hair, brown eyes, very mousy looking. She's like dressed frumpily, and she just sort of quietly sits down as well. And Justice goes, I'd like to introduce you all to the League. This is Andrew Andrews. I'm sorry, what?
I said greetings.
That's a terrible name. You can never trust a man with two first names.
So you got a lot of kids on your league, huh?
Completely unfazed by all of your guys' comments, he goes, "This is Andrew Andrews. You've already met Lady Emerson Obscurity. The young man over there with the violet eyes is Timothy Raines. We have Fenmir," he points at the punk rock girl. "Hellion," he points at the guy in the medieval-looking armor. And Holly.
Hi, everyone. My name's Bill. Shadow Fox.
Good save.
Greetings. I'm Shard.
Sandbag. Once again, with a mouthful of gator.
Pleasure to meet y'all. You can call me Paladin for this time.
You can call me either Bumrush or Mac.
Right. Andrew Andrews goes, so I guess I'm going to lead with a couple questions real quick. I know you guys have had a long talk with the boss here, his emotions to Justice. You call yourself Shadow Fox? And he looks at you. I happen to know a Shadow Fox, and I thought she was the only one that uses that moniker.
Yeah, we talked about this a long time ago. Don't you remember? Oh, no, you don't remember. It's a long story.
Okay. And then he looks over at Shard and goes, and last time I checked, the only person we have matching your description is currently being held by Belial.
I am.
So you escaped?
No, I'm still being held. Yet I'm also here.
It's a long story. It's best if you don't ask questions. I know that's kind of your thing, but it's really best if you don't.
He looks at Justice and goes, are you sure we can trust these people with answers like this? And Justice just holds up a hand. And then in his, highly synthesized voice, you hear, I believe them. Besides, I have no reason not to. And Andrew Andrews gets a disgusted look on his face and just sits there glaring at you guys.
Like
Mr.
father,
Andrews,
like son, huh?
Mr. Andrews,
I
it's like this. Yes, I am still being held by them, but we've come backwards to take care of something first.
Subtle. Very subtle. I love it.
Yep.
You leave
Ryan,
a lot
what
to the
did you
imagination.
Ryan,
What
what
did you
did you
say,
start to say? Ryan, what did you start to say when everyone else jumped in?
Oh, I said like father, like son.
His glare would deepen at you at that point.
Am I at all concerned about the temporal waves that we are creating with this meeting with Andrew Andrews?
Make an intelligence roll real quick.
Team.
I'm sorry, what? All I heard was teen.
And team.
17.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so you remember one of the first things Andrew mentioned when he was assigned to your group as the liaison is he mentioned that he specifically had asked for the duty. So
Well,
while there'd be some concern, this might be some of the reason he didn't tell you guys why he'd asked for the duty.
all right. In that case, I'm a little bit more at ease with this meeting.
And Justice, as you guys are all saying the things you said, Justice goes, to get started, I think we need to have Helene bring up the information. And you guys, the lights would dim a little bit, and you'd see Helene show up, 5'7", black hair, blue eyes, wearing like a lab coat at this point.
So not
And
wearing what she was before.
Correct. And she'd motion towards the screen. She'd motion towards the air, and you'd see an image appear in front of you. It looks like a sphere with all sorts of interesting, spiky looking things coming off of it. For anyone that has any medical training, you'd recognize it as like a virus of some sort. But with most of you not being medically trained, might not recognize it. When it pops up, she goes, "This is the substance that you guys asked us to identify."
It just looks like a ball to me.
It's microscopic,
So
down
it's
to like, yeah. So it actually affects DNA and RNA.
Really?
So while it's a contamination, really, if anything, it's not really a virus. It's not really. Well, to be honest, it's not really anything most people deal with. It's specifically designed to splice through RNA strands and activate potential abilities in people if they have that genome. If they don't, it will attempt to activate something that isn't there, and they'll die.
So kind of like me.
Sort of, yeah. Except it's not designed to carry any sort of mutagen with it.
So let me get this straight. It will activate anybody that potentially has power and kill anybody that's just a plain old person.
Correct. So from what I can tell with this thing, if you were to inject this or somehow get it into somebody's system, and they did not have the genetic code that would allow them to have superhuman powers, they die a very horrible death within 2 weeks.
So how do we stop that?
That's the rub. I don't see a real way to stop it once it's been ingested. The good news is most antibodies will kill this. You have to have high levels of it in your system in order for it to actually have an effect.
Like
Question.
drinking water that's poisoned with it.
If you drink enough, like 100, 200 gallons, maybe?
Question for you. If animal and plant life ingested it, would they mutate as well?
There's a possibility, as long as their genetic code is predisposition to mutating. Yes. For example, not all plant life is able to mutate on their own without human intervention for crossbreeding and whatnot to make plants livable in certain environments. While there's other plants that will mutate within a matter of months to meet its environment. Mostly what people call weeds. But
Is there a way to know how this was made?
Definitely in a laboratory.
Question then. So it takes a large amount for it to be lethal to normal people. How much does a genetically likely candidate need for it to activate the powers?
See, that's the opposite. For someone with abilities, all they would need is to take, again, assuming it's in the water and you're drinking the water, about the size of a bottle cap.
So put it in local waterways. We'll just spread it out. We'll spread it out just fine then.
Yeah, if the goal is to not kill people, just to activate latent abilities in people, then yeah, by distributing it through the waterways, that's exactly what it will do. I mean, you see mass activation of abilities.
What
So
would it
you're
do to
saying
people
that it
already
might
have
cause a lot of panic and potential fighting?
Yes, everyone, remember we're on a Skype call, so one at a time. I know I heard Ryan start to talk as well. So go ahead, Rafa, you first. Could you repeat that?
So you're saying it could cause widespread panic?
Yeah, it could cause widespread panic and/or other issues. I mean, people with abilities that suddenly have them activate in an unsafe area, not knowing what their abilities are. It could be anything from someone starts shooting flames in a subway, or someone's coughing up acid in a chemical factory. I mean, you really don't know when or where these things are going to happen.
What would it
So let's
do
get
to
into
someone?
waterways. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hold on, Ryan. Go ahead.
What would it do to someone that already has power?
That is the rub. If the person is already predisposed to having abilities and the abilities are active, it'll actually mutate their abilities in uncalculated ways. It seems completely random in the models that I drew up for it.
So this having the potential to mess with animal DNA as well. Going through the waterways into the oceans, we're talking worldwide chaos within a matter of weeks.
Well,
Leviathans.
go ahead.
Oh, I said Leviathans.
Yes.
Yeah, so you'd have a pandemic level proportion, probably spreading within 3 to 8 months worldwide, assuming that the waterways actually, that things in the environment don't kill it off. Too much heat will kill it off. Too cold will kill it off. So it won't spread to certain areas. More importantly, if it's actually put in waterways worldwide as opposed to allowing it to spread its course, it could happen much faster.
So if this actually gets into the oceans, we could really be facing a lot of damage.
Now, just to double check though, was this also the only contaminant that was in there, in that sample of water that we provided you?
It was the unusual contaminant in the sample of water you provided me. I'm going to be honest. Wherever you grabbed the water from, it was not the cleanest of reservoirs or locations that you may have grabbed it from. But that was the. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say it was.
That'd be Lake Superior.
Yeah, Lake Superior.
Yeah, so that would explain why there was some, minimal levels of petroleum product in it, and as well as a few other, things like feces and things like that in the sample. Very low amounts, though. Being Lake Superior, I can recalculate that. Give me a second. She gets like a blank look on her face for just a fraction of a second. She goes, "Okay, so a lot allocating that this is from Lake Superior." Taking that into consideration, there was also surprising level of arsenic in the water as well.
Would arsenic by chance in
Oh,
some way affect the molecule? Whatever it is?
Yeah. So if I put that into it, the lethality is increased on the people that are drinking the water. They'd only need to drink about 50 gallons before they'd start having symptoms.
Now you say the lethality. Does that mean that it would also increase mortality rates?
Well, yes. If more people are susceptible,
that's the same thing.
Right. But I mean,
then
I didn't necessarily get. Oh, that mortality rates was for people that don't have powers, correct?
correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it could possibly make the people with powers. It'll put them in more of a traumatic state when their powers activate.
Interesting.
So, for example, if you cause heart palpitations, and if your ability is breathing fire and you have heart palpitations, you're going to be breathing heavier and more fire would come out.
This is going to get bad
Ask you a
fast.
question here. Let me ask you a question here.
Yes.
Suppose this is just a seeding phase, and what they're going for is a level of saturation in the watershed. That's not the actual activation. When they're ready, they dump a whole bunch of accelerant. In this case, you say arsenic. They dump a whole bunch of arsenic into the system and makes it much more lethal. Would that be a plausible scenario that they wait to contaminate everything, but it's so slow acting, it's not detected until they do a drop of the second ingredient, which makes it all the more effective.
That is a very good hypothesis. One thing I do want to point out is, from what I could tell from the small water sample you provided, is that some of the created molecules or atoms, if you will, of these things, of this mutagen, some of them are newer than others.
What do you mean newer?
Younger?
So it's been in the waterways for a while then.
I mean, probably, yes, probably about a few years, if not decades.
Right.
So then there is the potential for it actually to have enough to affect people, because you were saying 200 gallons. So
I mean, yes.
if there's a larger concentration of it, then I suppose that would actually not help matters on our end.
Well, correct, and I think the hypothesis I came up with was that whoever introduced this into the waterways where you found it may have already been putting it in waterways worldwide, which explains the uptick in people with abilities over the last few decades.
So, is there a chance that we can still stop this before it becomes too late?
Yeah, I'd say if given the ratios that I've seen for the aging or the age of the substance, I would say they're probably ramping up. Like, for example, there's quite a few more younger mutagens than there were older ones, and I don't know what the ratio is on how much they initially released, but if they are upping the dosage of both the arsenic and the mutagen on a timetable, let's say 3 months time from now, if they up this by even 50% of what they have now, that would be the tipping point.
Basically, true.
Interestingly enough, we actually do have some of their targets, at least supposed targets. Barnabas, do you by chance still have the map?
Paladin, do you have the map?
Joe, up back in time.
I'm sorry, I don't know if I heard all of you there, Quincy. Could you repeat that?
I have brought the map back in time. Wait, didn't I give it to the FBI?
I don't think we met the FBI yet.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
met
yeah.
Foxtail.
You met Foxtail. I believe you did share it with him. So yeah, you would have access to that map.
Is Foxtail here right now too?
No, he is not.
Oh wow.
Thank God.
Foxtail. Have you shared any of this information with other organizations?
Justice speaks up at this point. Not yet. You being the group that brought it to our attention, we wanted to talk to you guys first, especially dealing with your interesting problem.
What's the interesting problem?
We already discussed this last time.
I just elbow shard.
And you hurt your elbow.
You know, the where you're from issue.
I mean, the when we're from issue.
Shut the fuck up! Jesus Christ, I'm about to shove you through a fucking table.
Yes, that one.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
The Andrew Andrews from our past, he seemed to be withholding information about this in particular, correct?
Yeah. Andrew Andrews from your past, he withheld quite a bit of information from you guys.
Okay.
But yes, you do know that he did seem to. He mentioned Justice was his dad, but he mentioned nothing else.
Well, no, I'm meaning in particular, like the waterways being affected and everything. He kind of seemed to know what was going on, but didn't want to point us in the direction and wanted us to come to it ourselves.
That you'd need to make intelligence roll to see if you remember that correctly.
So I just want to confirm, this stuff cannot be filtered out of the water, or it can be filtered out of the water?
As far as I can tell at this point, it cannot be filtered out of the water. It's actually bonding with water molecules.
Great.
And sort of mutating those molecules to make them be better carriers for them, using the arsenic as a cutting
Catalyst.
agent.
I rolled an 8 and my intelligence is 5.
I think Jonah may have thought, it's starting to click in his head. Maybe he might not be completely understanding that Andrew knew about it, but he did seem to hint about possibly of meeting you guys before you really met you guys.
Okay. But anything in regards to the waterways themselves?
No.
No?
No, unfortunately, you didn't roll high enough to get that.
Gotcha.
Alright, I've got an idea for how we might be able to fix some of this, or help prevent it from getting worse. We need to start a campaign to convince the public that the drinking water isn't safe, and that they need to switch to alternative water sources, such as beer and whiskey and canned products that already have the water included, but preferably something that's been done in the past prior to the second wave of exposure into the lakes.
Now,
But if they've been doing this for a while, then they've been using the water that's been contaminated already, and so the beer and all that stuff is going to have it.
It'll have it, but it will be in lesser amounts than any newer water bottles that are produced.
is there
How
any
The
long
information
problem
is
is
that
still there.
How
Or
long
they
do you
can-
convince them to do that for, though? I mean, how, it's already in the water.
Or they could
I'm
keep the
sorry.
bottles that are over 10 years old, 12-year whiskey.
Jack, I can tell you something about human nature. They're gonna think that you're wearing a tinfoil hat, that you're a conspiracy theorist, and it's all a ploy to sell bottled water and booze.
I mean, it's really a
Because remember,
to sell
we are in a
bottles.
capitalist society.
Hey, John, I'd
So,
like to check to see oh, sorry, go ahead, Quasi. Go ahead, Quasi.
So, to create a countermeasure, not a filtration system, because filtering billions of gallons of water is not something we can achieve in 3 months, not even 3 years, even. But maybe design an, I don't know. You say this is a virus, maybe it's something that attacks it.
Okay. While you guys were initially talking about the whole, selling them alcohol thing, the lady that was introduced as Fenmir just started busting a gut. Like, she was laughing her ass the whole time. However, when you bring that up, Helene goes, there are possibilities. I worked with Cal a little bit on how we might be able to kind come up with a remedy, and the best thing we can think of is find some way to neutralize the game master just had a blank, the arsenic in the water, and that would sort of alleviate a lot of the problems. It wouldn't get rid of it, but it could help alleviate the issue,
or at least slow it way down so we can come up with something better.
and the best way we could think of to do that would be to contaminate their arsenic supply that they're mixing with it at their headquarters. If you guys
know where the arsenic's coming in at?
That's assuming though that they're doing it at their headquarters.
Well, wherever they're getting their arsenic from and mixing it with this compound, and there's pretty much very, very limited labs that could create this thing. This, our lab is one that could, but not even the CDC lab would be able to create something like that.
So can you tell which lab it's coming from?
When I say there's very few, they're all privately held, meaning they're not reported. For example, the CDC is unaware of this facility and the lab that we have.
So you're talking top secret facilities.
Yes, or more secret than that. We've got access to most of the world's government files via back doors. And as she's saying this, Justice goes, "That's enough." And she goes, yes, something like that.
Would Blackfire by chance be one of those organizations?
She goes, "That is a possibility. Blackfire, Kaiser Corps, Razor's Edge, those are three of the ones that would have something like this. There's even the potential that Kruger Industries could have their foot dipped into this."
Yes, I've heard bad things about that Kruger Industries. So I know you said nothing.
First suspected.
Is there a chance you might be able to point which labs controlled by which of those organizations might be producing it?
If it's any of their publicly known labs, we would know, and it's none of their publicly located labs. It'd have to be in some sort of secret facility that they own. And
which one would you say? Which one would you say, in your experience as heroes, which one would you say has the most potential to provide that to Belial?
Already established there's a known connection between Belial and Blackfire.
Right, but I'm just saying which one. I didn't say Blackfire specifically. I'm asking which one would have the most potential to provide that to them.
At this point,
The one that has known connections to Belial? Yeah, Blackfire is the most likely.
at this point, Timothy Rand would lean forward and go, "Well, from what I know about computers, I'd say that Blackfire and what was it? Kruger Industries. Yeah, those two. They'd be the ones that'd be able to pull it off."
So let's find her. No, never mind.
Would
We
it be a
have-
decent idea to maybe split the groups off and just kind of investigate those areas? Because if there's at least 2 labs that can do it, then that would be a decent idea.
At this point, Justice goes, "If we could definitively find where Belial's headquarters is, I think that would help us sidetrack the whole having to split and search labs for who's making it. We know where it's going. It doesn't really matter where it's being made, in my mind."
I suppose, but then
Fun thing.
that same one might be able to provide other terrorist organizations.
Uh,
Do any
Yeah.
of you have a freedom of movement from place to place?
Hold on. Quasi, what?
you forget that's kind of the reason why we came here in the first place. We do have, let's see, a hardwired teleportation device to the Blackfire base in a bit of destroyed technology.
Justice goes,
I
wait,
hand over
what?
the belt.
That would have been good to notice starting with this. As you put the
We
belt on,
while we were getting checked out by you, we were also checking you out. So we just wanted to make sure that this wouldn't be one of those situations where you found out where the base was and then went on a hot-headed crusade to take it out all at once. Oh yeah, like I suppose that one of the Helens was supposed to be around to keep you from flying off the handle. Hi, Helen.
As you set the thing on the table, Timothy Rand glances over it. His eyes glow a little bit, and you just see the thing just sort of like slide really fast across the table. Trevor, you'd hear it like scraping as it went, and it just land in his hand.
Telekinetic abilities.
You are
Nice.
the tech guy, huh?
I'm sorry, what did you say, Ryan? You and George talked at the same time.
I was just saying you weren't kidding. You are the tech guy, huh?
Something like that. As he looks at it and goes, "Oh yeah, no, it's the coordinates are still embedded in it." His eyes are glowing the whole time.
Telekinetic abilities, huh?
No, not exactly.
However, there is no way of knowing specifically if that is the headquarters that the coordinates are leading us to, or
So-
just bases.
If the coordinates are still embedded in it, does that mean that you know where it is without having to go there?
Yeah, I could extrapolate this out with Hermes' help and come up with a map telling you about where it is.
That would be great.
It's not
I
just
can
like
even-
GPS locations.
Yeah, I
for
can. Yeah.
coordinates?
Longitude, latitude to be specific, but yeah, as well as Z space on where in the crust, if you will, of the planet that it's located, how far below and
the
above.
XYZ axis.
Yeah. Also, it looks like there's quite a few locations that she's been to frequently.
Great.
So the chances of it
So
actually
then-
being the headquarters that we go to are fairly slim, I'm imagining.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to use his voice. No, I think the most used one would be the headquarters. But these other locations might be helpful for you guys figuring out what their plans were.
Or where they've been.
Yeah.
What was the scientist's name for Belial? The one that experimented on Shard?
Make an intellect roll, Mr. Forgetful.
9!
Something Latreille. That's all you get.
Gotcha.
Would I remember that?
Well, I think perhaps Latreille should be our target, because he is the science guy after all. Probably focuses on making this virus for them.
Are we talking about Gordon Latreille?
I suppose so. Dr. Latreille.
I mean that's probably good if, and Helene would cut off Timothy at this point, Timothy Rands, and say, Dr. Gordon Latreille is a well-known genetic researcher. Both before and after the United States government made him disappear.
Yeah, he's also the one that did this to me.
So you're saying he now is associated with Belial?
Yes.
Or perhaps Belial is associated with the U.S. government.
Andrew Andrews would scoff and go, I doubt that. It's probably he's working for them as a double agent. It's probably more likely.
But
So
yes,
would you
he
say
is the
then that
one-
he is still working for the U.S. government?
Yeah, as far as I know, yes, he is still working for the United States government on a top
Well,
secret project.
But yes, he is the one that did this to me. He was the lead scientist.
Maybe we should
Is
try to go
doing
meet
that
with
to you?
the big boss, President of the United States.
Oh, I don't think that'll go over well.
It might not go over well, but I mean, if we give him at least some of the information that we have, it might be okay. Perhaps not us specifically, since we've not really met each other yet, but the Just Us League might be okay to meet with him. And just try to just let them know, hey, we got to talk to Gordon Latrey and try to figure this shit out. Has he been on that secret assignment for 10 years, though?
Has who been on what secret assignment? Andrew Andrews asks.
Latrey, you said he was on a secret assignment by the U.S. government.
Yes.
Top secret.
Yeah, no, he's been working on that for probably about a decade or so.
I mean, it seems to kind of line up.
Again, like I said, they may have turned him prior to him coming to working with the federal government. But yeah, as far as meeting the president, we've got everyone here in this room has about an equal chance in hell of meeting with the Pope than the president of the United States.
Ah, so that's a pretty high chance then, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say that shouldn't be too difficult. You just
Yeah,
go to
not difficult at all.
Vatican City. I
John,
mean, if
could
I
I-
were to break in to meet with the Pope, I would literally go through the front doors and just go to the Pope.
John, could I try to dig deep into my terrible memory and try to see if the president had partied with me at one point?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, dude,
13.
very cool.
High or low?
Low.
Can't get any lower. Okay. So, this being, 2019 and Trump being our commander in chief, the best way to put it is, you remember that there's this really wild, raging party at Trump Tower that you managed to break into.
Which time?
The specifics of it, not that clear. Drug induced does say a lot about what happened.
Guys, I have an idea.
Oh shit.
What's your idea?
How bad is this gonna hurt?
I think I know him.
Who?
Yeah, who?
Andrew
The
Andrews,
president.
Andrew Andrews, as you're saying, the president says the Pope.
Yes.
You
You should
party
vote to
with
see if you know the Pope, too.
The president.
Oh,
So,
So our chances have gone up higher than
You mean
before,
down?
and they were already pretty high.
I don't remember anything except for partying with him, and it was really hazy, but there's
Maybe
a
you're
chance
partying-
it could be good.
Maybe you're partying with him right now.
I am going to send out a tweet, and I just send out, Mr. President, do you remember me?
higher.
Oh, God.
Higher or low?
hey,
Everyone just went silent. Higher or low,
Rafa,
Rafa?
high or low?
Hi.
How high are you?
Wow. You'd get a response back. Of course, I remember you. It was the 3rd of September, 4 years ago in New York, I believe. What was up with the goats?
The goats? Wow,
we don't
God.
We don't ask about his past. That's a weird topic for conversation. We just find
John,
it from
what
time.
kind of drugs are you on? Why the fuck aren't you sharing?
Once again, we don't ask about his
At this
past.
point,
We also don't condone drug usage unless it's very good.
I would like to ask Melgear. Okay, I know that Bill hasn't been in existence. Do you just insert his existence retroactively to everything?
From the moment he appeared in time, time has been trying to fix itself to include.
John, your mic just went wonky.
Yeah, I don't think I heard a thing you said.
From the moment
So Malgear says to Barnabas in Barnabas's head, from the moment he appeared in time, time has been trying to fix itself to include him.
Well, I guess a good part of it.
Could somebody check chat to see if chat heard that? I mean, if
yeah, I don't know how it's coming through for chat.
I'm just messaging
haven't
Chuck
seen
real quick. So
comments yet,
Hold up.
but
let's focus on the stream, and Chuck will fix it if you
yeah, yeah, Chuck will fix it.
Why don't we take a break right now?
Yeah, this is actually a good point to take a break. So we'll be back in just a few moments.
are we able to go on break with Chuck gone?
For those who missed it, what Malgear said was that from the moment Bill inserted himself in time, time has been trying to fix itself to include him.
Okay.
Thank you, Trevor, for saying that.
So it's like that guy from I think it's Surf Ninjas, that he kept saying "what if," and every time he said "what if," it happened. I wonder if I have that power.
Who knows? Who knows?
John,
What if
you
you
know.
do? And then I
You should try it
daydream
out right
about
now.
Bill having that power to see if Ensway makes it happen.
I'm sorry, what, Trevor? I had to laugh. I was laughing too hard.
I said, what if you do have that power? And then I start daydreaming about Bill just saying the word "what if" and then trailing off in a long sentence and things just happening, and see if Ensway makes it happen.
Who knows? These are all possibilities. So like I said, we're going to go to break real quick if we can. Does anyone know if Chuck is there?
There he is.
I'm calling him. There he is.
So we'll see you guys soon, and then we'll get back. We'll try to figure out what happened.
ceasing to give resistance to my struggling, causing me to slam my face into the table.
That's better.
Okay, apparently.
Oh, we're back on.
Hey
Hey,
guys,
again.
welcome back. Appreciate you guys bearing with us while we took a quick break to try to solve some technical problems and take care of other issues. So to pick up where we left off, you guys were in the room, and I believe there was a question that was offered. We mentioned what I told him, so we're going from that point.
So are we all back?
We are back, and there was a question that was asked. If I could get a reminder on that one.
Barnabas was talking to the Malgear, and the Malgear had mentioned about you and your time.
Oh, yeah. So, I got the answer that I wanted.
Gotcha. And none of us heard that because it was you talking to Malgear. So I'm going to reply to my tweet. Now, mind you, all this is a public tweet. I'm just going to reply is like, we need to get together soon. Lots to catch up on.
High or low?
Hi.
The response would be, sounds good, a little busy right now with issues, but we would definitely have to get caught up, and he'd list where he's going to be for his next public appearance. Hit me up then.
His next rager, you mean?
All right, perfect. When is his next appearance?
So that is a great question. I knew you were going to say that, Rafa.
It's your fault for saying it.
Mar-a-Lago.
Hold on.
I mean, I would have been happy with the next 2 days in Minnesota. You could have just said that.
Yeah, but let's be honest. He that would be a complete fictitious lie. And let's
could
at
have
least
gone
try to
golfing.
let's just try to see where he would have been in. That would have been May, right?
I think we are in June. Wouldn't we?
June.
At the beginning of June?
That's right.
Or middle of June?
He'd say, hit me up on June 15th. I'm planning on going golfing in Washington, D.C.
Dude, you're breaking up really bad on this thing.
15th, we'll be attending golf match.
Where?
It'll for anyone that had followed the president, he tends to go golfing in Washington, D.C. at the Trump National Golf Club. It's an 800-acre private golf club in the eastern United States at Lowe's Island in Potomac Falls, Virginia, northwest of Washington, D.C.
So I ask again, where?
Anyway, affiliated with them, and we are not condoning them as a golf course unless they pay us.
Correct. And likewise, any responses about the president involved in this role-playing game is strictly coincidental. The fact that we are trying to make it as close to real life as possible without actually including real people. There we go. All disclaimers made.
Any representations of persons living or dead are merely fictitious
Correct.
and do not in any way reflect views of this studio or the people that are fictitiously represented.
Correct. Thank you, Trevor. Okay. So that's your response. So, Rafa, let's go ahead and have you repeat what you said again because everyone else started talking.
I said, I respond with, Cool. I'll be there for the golf match game.
You get a thumbs up. That's the response you get.
I was really.
All right, guys. I have a meeting with him June 15th at the golf course. What day is it?
It is the 13th.
So 2 days hence.
All right, so I got my deal going. How about you guys?
Well, what is the most frequented location for that belt?
For the
What'd you say?
What is the most frequented location for that belt, Mr. Rains?
So the most frequented location for from what I can find on here is actually it's a small city in Poland.
Poland, like the country Poland.
I
Yes.
don't think there's any other Poland. So a small city in
I attempt to open up a portal to
What's the name of the city?
Poland.
No, he said a small city in Poland. What is the name of the city?
The name of the city. One moment. I have to pull that back up. My window accidentally closed.
Fro-
You're cutting out, George.
George looks frozen on my screen.
He looks frozen on my screen too.
And on mine. I think we just
Oh,
lost
wait.
George.
Let's see. Nah, he's still in the Discord.
It's a possibility that his
He's talking to
internet
us.
kaput.
Yeah, it's possible.
Actually, and he'd go, I'm wrong. I thought it was Poland. I'm not good with geography, but it's Belarus. Actually, sorry,
Belarus.
Belarus.
Yeah, that place. I don't. Yeah.
Not good at pronouncing country names.
Again, not good with geography. I'm good with talking to computers.
You mean working with computers, right?
Sure, you could call it working.
Cool.
But I haven't heard you talking to that belt at all. So.
Yeah, it's
I
weird
mean-
when it's weird if you say talking to computers. I don't really
Well-
understand how someone can talk to a computer,
Well, it's in my head.
I look over in that direction. Do I see anything going on?
High or low? Yeah, actually, what you see,
Am I
what
back?
you see, Trevor, is you see this very muscular man sitting there, probably about mid-30s, and he's holding a belt, and in the belt you see a fractured face. And it looks like he's having a conversation. You can't hear the words, but you can see them. You can see their lips moving.
So I'm going to.
He's having a conversation with the fractured face in the belt.
Yes.
I'm going to just push myself ever so slightly away from him.
Now, just so you know,
You
Ryan.
had said that he talks to them in his head.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's why I'm
you're-
pushing myself away. I'm not
Okay.
saying anything Trevor's saying. I'm responding to what he said. by pushing
Correct. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So, So what I can tell is that it's near however you pronounce the place. It's near Lake Sho, Sho, and Belarus, whatever
There you go.
you guys said.
Belaruskis.
There's a town Babaruski, I don't know. But it's near there. That's seems to be where the most frequent trips go.
Interesting. Are there any by chance
How long will
Belial
it
members
take?
that might be here in the base that you've captured and are interrogating?
I'm sorry?
Are there any by chance like Belial members that are here that you're capturing or interrogating by chance?
He looks at Justice, and Justice goes, "No, we do not detain people ourselves. We turn them over to the authorities."
Okay, well, have you ever
Okay. Oh,
collected any more of those belts by chance?
This is the first time we've received one.
are you sure?
Let's cut to the chase. How long will it take for your lab to whip up a contaminant for the arsenic? Because we can't just go there right now because we got nothing.
Helene goes, well, it will take us probably an hour to come up with so we were thinking of actually creating a bacteria to introduce as opposed to an equal amount of substance to neutralize the arsenic. If we inject a small bacteria that will be able to feed off the arsenic, that'd probably be the best option.
So 1 hour to design it, and how long to actually make it?
No. 1 hour to make it. I've already designed it.
Well, hey, we're way ahead of the game. Hats off to you.
Being an artificial intelligence, designing things is really quick.
Hey. Be that as it may, kudos. And saving time is always a blessing. Came in deep for an hour with constructed.
So yeah, I could. We can start the construction process as soon as Justice gives us the approval. Justice leans forward a little bit. His armor leans forward a little bit. So, what are your guys' strategic thoughts on this then?
Thoughts? You mean like a Mission Impossible plan? We sneak in, inject the bacteria into the arsenic nose, and then sneak back out. With them none the wiser.
Sounds like it's going to be tricky. Which members would you send?
I'd be fine with going.
Obscurity.
Yeah, except you're pretty loud.
I snuck into that mansion. I was pretty good.
Were you? Weren't you taken prisoner by them?
No. We had a good conversation.
Are you the reason I got shot in the hand?
When did you get shot in the hand?
Just to make things easy, I know the liabilities of my group. I say like my entire team here.
I would recommend not taking Shard with you.
What are your reasons for that?
If you're infiltrating within the next, let's say, month or two, there could be a problem taking him with you, based on our discussions from earlier.
Oh, yeah, he might have a very enlightening meeting of the mind with himself.
Yes.
Oh,
And we don't want some insides to become
and,
outsides. That would be bad.
So
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess you're right.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
We'll leave.
Thank you, Chuck.
So, Sean, risk being erased from the universe, or do you want to stay home?
I think we ought to ask him real quick just to be safe, because maybe he might say otherwise. Maybe he'd want to go.
I just asked him.
Did you? I didn't hear the question.
I
I
did.
just heard something about.
What'd I miss?
Would you be interested in possibly running into your past self as we go to infiltrate their base?
Sure.
Cool. We're agreed then.
You want to erase yourself from the universe. Awesome.
Bob,
So
what'd you say?
that's what's going to happen.
Oh, that's what'll happen? Then no, I don't want to meet myself.
Yep.
You sure you'd be going with me?
I'd rather not then.
Along with him in the big boom.
Okay.
What if he's the reason he escapes?
Do you know how you got out?
What if I'm the reason he escapes?
Hey,
I
John.
don't think that would happen.
You know where you ended up when you got out? Were you held in Belarus?
I don't know. I remember coming out of the sewers into the chaos in that quad.
Hmm.
That was in.
Did you
Los
use a
Angeles.
portal before you did that?
Yes.
I don't know where
So-
I've been.
George, the answer
Yeah.
for you is yes. You randomly portaled away. Somehow the mechanisms that they were stopping you from using your abilities failed. You felt like you could do a portal, so you did a random portal to try to get away from there.
Okay. So I relay that to everybody else. So when I escaped, I don't know where I was, but the machinery keeping me dampened went off. And then I just portaled out. Didn't care where I was going or where I didn't know where I was going. I just opened up a portal and stepped through. So I have no idea where I was.
Yeah, that sounds like a job for Sandbag.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I
I'm
think
not
I'm
going.
the one who frees you.
Maybe, maybe not.
I don't know. I think I could take down a whole base by myself. Sounds like it'd be a good plan.
Unless they kill you first.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not taking down the whole base. I should rephrase that. What am I doing again? I'm doing something to
Being sneaky and not making a big explosion and taking out the base.
dang.
Because if
Maybe I
that's your
wouldn't be the
plan, you're not
perfect
coming with.
opportunity or a perfect person for this endeavor. Then I don't know. I like to be sneaky. I don't mind that, but I also like to fight things.
Sandbag, you're not a sneaky, you're a wrecking ball.
Hey, I'm sneaky.
No.
I'm sneaky. I'm also
Justice.
fairly
Oh, fine.
persuasive, I like to think.
Justice interrupts your guys' conversation. I do have to agree with Bumrush that sending obscurity would be a good idea
What about me?
with you.
Oh.
I also think that if we sent anyone else, the best choice would be Fenmir.
I'm sorry, you'll have to remind me, what is their skill set?
Well, obscurity, you already know.
Right, I know obscurity. I meant the other one that you mentioned. Fenmir?
Fenmir, she's got the ability to restrict people using abilities.
That's a good one to send. I think also somebody who would be able to tap into the technology might be a good idea, because you don't know if Dangerous is going to be there.
while I would normally say so, at that point, Timothy Reigns goes, "No, it's all right. I'm not going back."
Going back.
So you've been to
I've had-
Belarus before?
No, I've had bad encounters with Belial. They've tried capturing me several times. That's why I'm hiding out here. Because no,
So you're cowering in a corner like a dog.
yeah,
You're hiding
A
here?
living
How
one.
come we didn't meet you before?
because I'm hiding.
Could you remotely surveil and interact with anything that might be going on over there?
I mean, I've got some range, but they've got people that could like find me.
I mean, I'm
Um,
sorry. Would you be able to do it from a safe location?
I think what he's saying is that there is no safe location from. What's that Wi-Fi dude that we just turned in?
What about if we
living
use this and I
broadcast
take off my
tower.
helmet and toss it to him? Would you be able to use that to see everything?
He holds it and goes, "Wow, this is kind of interesting, huh? I never thought I'd see the day." And he hands it back to you.
So is that a yes or a no?
No, it's all right. Download and Dangerous are the two that I'm most afraid of. They did some really bad things to me, and I don't really want to have any chance of running into them again.
Well, Justice, is there anything you can do about this? Maybe he can guide me without communicating to the technology.
I mean, I could talk to you guys, and I can do my best to help remotely, but I'm not a physical. I don't want to go anywhere. Thanks, I'm safe here.
No, I'm not saying you have to go anywhere. What I'm saying is maybe you can do something with the helmet, or maybe like some sort of a recording device or something like that can be put into the helmet so people can see where I'm going. And guide me.
I don't build technology.
I'm not saying
I
you.
talk
I'm just
to
saying
it.
in general, maybe someone can do that. I don't know if Justice has the means to do that.
Justice goes, "I can definitely have one of my AIs look at that. Before you guys go, swing by Hephaestus and ask him to add things."
Gotcha.
We,
And then would you have-
we know somebody.
Well, he is preoccupied at the moment with getting.
Are you sure?
With getting his ass handed to him? Yes.
I mean, as far as we know, everything that has been told to us could be a lie. I mean, I'm just saying.
I
Well,
think
if everything
because
that's
of
been
being
told to us
as-
was a
in
lie,
as sensitive a position as we are, I think we should probably take everything at face value in regards to people we've met before, and yet not met yet.
I mean,
Or-
technically, if we're in the same timeline,
Well,
then Andrew Andrews already knew us, which means that it was meant to happen. So then anything we do was meant to happen anyway.
Besides, I doubt he would have lied to us about that. I'm pretty sure he is getting his ass handed to him right now. And he probably should continue to get his ass handed to him right now because that's just what happens.
I'm going to shoot out a text at him anyway, just to see what happens.
Okay.
To Darkbolt.
Yes.
You don't get a response back.
I mean, it's only been a couple seconds. I'll wait a couple minutes.
Yeah. Still no response back.
Yeah, let's just hope that whoever does have him doesn't read that message and then tries to trace it.
I said, hey.
Which he also probably still has her name stored in his phone, and I believe Bilal has said before that they've been tracking us for a while. Andrew Andrews has as well.
I'm still alive in the future, so they didn't come back and kill me in the past, so...
Yeah.
I mean, anything's possible now. Everything is off the table.
I choose to believe that we live a predetermined life, and now that we're in the past, everything's already happened, so we don't have anything to worry about.
you realize, okay,
suppose
so
that's
just
true.
so you know, Darkbolt walked into that as a trap, knowing it was a trap, gets his ass kicked, and then he has to break out of Belial before you guys meet him.
I mean, we already did tell him that it's a trap, and he went anyways.
Right. He already knew because it already happened.
Right, so they're gonna get that text message because they're going to capture him and torture him.
Which already happened, and he was alive when he met us.
Maybe. Are you using one of those burner phones?
No, I've been using my glasses.
Andrews, who's still sitting at the same table as you guys, speaks up and goes, "So I'm assuming the dark bolt you're talking about is Stiletto-san."
Yes.
Yeah.
Does he not go by Dark Bolt to you?
No, he does. That's fine. I'm just trying to piece things together.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I think you might want to stop piecing because you might hurt
Well,
the
it's-
timeline. Maybe
But it's
break-
already happened, guys!
It might have already happened. We
No.
don't know.
You know, Shadowfox, you should not be the one to talk because you are the most immune to time paradox that amongst us all.
So I might know what's going on!
No, you don't.
No. You actually have reality warping around you so that when time smacks us down, you are sitting pretty. But the rest of us has to bear the bad effects of anything that you do.
That's not necessarily true, because there's multiple of you guys in the universe, or in the
It
multiverse.
is.
There's only one of me. So
Yeah,
if I
but-
die, that's
Thank
it.
the gods.
But we did time travel back to the one that we have experienced ourselves. We are not in
Mhm.
another timeline. We are in this
Right. It already happened.
timeline.
No,
We don't
no.
want to go to a
You
different
rewrote
timeline by
it.
transposing ourselves into one. We want to stay in the same one.
If I'm the only one in any of the timelines, that means that I'm in this timeline, so I'm in, and then I just start crying.
Oh
Fem-
hell!
you know-
It's been about an hour. Is the bacteria ready?
Yes, it is. Femir looks over, while you guys are talking back and forth, and you guys would have seen her like shooting, even though she's been laughing at all of your guys' antics. You'd see her like shooting serious looks at Justice's armor. Not that he's facing her, but she just keeps like glaring at him. And right about now, when you ask about that being ready, she goes, "I guess I'll talk about the elephant in the room since someone didn't mention the dangerousness of me coming with you."
How dangerous is it you coming with us?
Well, with me.
Like Justice said, I can neutralize the use of powers. What he didn't say is that's because I eat them.
You eat powers.
What does that mean?
So can you control it?
I need to feed every so often, at least once a day, siphon off someone's abilities in order to live. You might call me a little bit of a vampire.
Or a little bit of a leech.
You're
I immediately
you're
just
like,
start punching Shard.
What
Sorry,
do
you
want,
immediate.
little man?
It's a vampire. It's another one. Why does my color on screen?
I
keep
have a question for you, Vampire.
Yes,
How does calligraphy taste?
I don't know. Really? I would guess inky.
a very random question there.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm more than willing to. I mean, I'm not like him. I'm not a coward. More than willing to go in there, guns a blazing, if you will. Just so you know that I feed on abilities.
Are you at least able to control whose abilities you feed on?
Oh yeah, it's easy to control. If you touch me, I feed on you.
So
Right, but
if
what I'm getting at is if I'm in the same room as someone you're feeding on, it won't affect me.
I don't know. You seem like you need to be fed on. She smiles at you.
so I have a
Yeah.
question for you then,
Can we renegotiate her going?
coward. If you can feed off of abilities, can you pick which abilities you can feed off of?
Not really. No, it's pretty much I just start absorbing their abilities. The longer I'm in contact with them, the more of their abilities I devour.
Never mind then. Thank you.
Oh, so you're like that comic book character Rouge.
Yeah, with the exception that I'm not Southern, and that I can't use their abilities. That'd be kind of neat.
No, but it's perfect. Yeah, okay.
As she licks her tooth.
Well, I mean, so long as we just get there quick and get out, and you do not feed on me, you can maybe feed on obscurity. I'm sure she'd be fine with that. But don't feed on me.
Obscurity glare. You know, you see the fog around her part, and you see like this withering stare that actually intimidates you a little bit, and then it goes back up.
Okay, maybe not obscurity either. Maybe refrain from feeding on either of us. Shit out of me! Holy crap! Why would you do that? Anyways, yeah. You can go with us. Just don't feed on us. That would be bad.
The reason I tell you guys is for your safety. If you want me to go with you, don't touch me.
Gotcha. So don't get knocked out, because otherwise I might have to pick you up.
No, I can't make any promises.
What if I touch you with something that I'm holding?
Don't touch me.
So
Don't
not with
stab
someone
me.
I'm holding then.
Don't try to kill me,
I'm not saying I'm trying to kill you.
and we'll be good.
Could you eat your own ability?
No.
That would be weird. It's like eating your fist.
No, I was ostracized by my kind because of my ability to threaten those that have more power than I do.
There's more of you?
Oh, there's a whole society of vampires.
Oh, so you actually do consider yourself vampires then? I thought vampires suck blood.
Not all vampires suck blood.
Hashtag not all vampires suck blood. Yeah, no.
No. I checked my
We
sheet for any wooden stakes.
no, you don't find any wooden stakes on you.
God damn it.
So Trevor, you're not wearing your glasses at all, right?
Correct.
There are quite a variety of vampires, and we hold ourselves separate from human society. We go to our own clubs. We feed with our own groups, if you will.
All right, well, just don't feed on me. Also, another thing too, don't feed on obscurity for sure. But another thing, don't let me see when you feed on other people. 'Cause that might be weird.
Don't watch as they touch me.
Right, but I'm imagining
That's
most
more on
people
you
don't
than
touch
me.
you. I'm imagining most people don't
Stand
willingly
back,
touch you.
just
So I'm
let
just
it
saying,
go.
warn me, and then we'll be good.
That's more on you than me.
What?
That's more on you than me.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Sandbag, if you're not feeling up to the task, somebody else could go instead.
Oh, I'm feeling up to the task.
Then shut your pie hole and let's go.
I thought it was just the three of us that were going.
Then you three go.
Well, I'm ready.
Justice would say, so how soon are you guys going to be ready? You mentioned wanting to swing by Hephaestus. We've got the bacteria. Correct, Helen? Helen goes, yes, it's done. Cal will bring up the delivery device in just a few moments.
So Jack, would you like another set of sunglasses?
I mean, they're more for your guys' benefit than they are mine. they're just kind of habit to have, and now I don't.
Okay, so take your bandana off.
I'm not actually wearing a bandana. Trevor is wearing a bandana because
Oh, okay.
Jack is blind.
Okay, then Jack, don't freak out. I'm gonna touch your temples. Okay?
Sure.
So I tap both his temples with my index fingers and form a set of sunglasses on his head.
That's a
Okay,
19
roll.
to not parry.
Okay, good job.
Double sevens, double fours, and 9. I think I do it.
Yeah.
I have
Yep. You
elemental
create
crystal,
some.
elemental creation crystal 10.
Yep.
So yeah, I form a nice set of almost like Oakleys on his face.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll be going to go see Hephaestus. Helene, do you mind guiding me towards Hephaestus?
I mean, you could just follow the black line, I guess. That should get you there.
Okay.
I sort of have to stay here till Cal gets here. So, Justice would say, so it's going to be your entire group, including Shard, Femir, and Obscurity going? And he'd be looking at Paladin as he says this.
John, are you coming along or not? It's your
You
call.
really want me-
Ninja.
You really need me to come along? Because if I meet myself, who knows what can happen?
Nothing's gonna happen.
Phil, shut up.
Obscurity says, if you stay with me, I can make sure that you don't see anything.
Okay.
Or you
I'll
only need to see, or you only see what you need to see.
Then I will.
Yeah.
I only see what I need to see.
See all of us and Obscurity and oh
Watcher
gosh.
gets
I'm no sorry, lady.
Let's see.
I've forgotten your name.
Femmir. My name's Femmir.
Fenmir. Ah. Yeah.
Perfect. Great. Justice like, wonderful. And right about then, the door opens. You'd see Cal, 6'2", black hair, blue eyes, wearing a lab coat, muscular frame, walk in with a small ampule, about 4 inches long and with a diameter of about 2 inches. And you go, here you go. This is for you guys. He set it on the table. I don't know who needs it, but that's the bacteria. You've got one shot at this. Not trying to add any undue stress, but that's all we could make.
So I better not blow this one then.
Easiest way to inject it is to just literally place it in arsenic. Once the outside detector detects arsenic completely around it, it will release the bacteria.
Do we have anybody who can identify arsenic in our group that's going in?
Femmir smiles and says, I'm sure that if you just grab a handful of the substance and put it in your mouth and you die, that'd be arsenic.
Great, so you volunteer then.
No, not me.
Great.
It probably
so then
wouldn't
we
kill
need
me.
a
I'm a
different
vampire.
method. So, do any of us here have a method for actually detecting arsenic aside from suicide?
Well, there's got to be some kind of like machine or kind of something to detect it.
My helmet might be able to.
What am I
Just
talking
as-
about? I have glasses that should be able to do this.
My helmet might as well.
Justice would say, if not, you could probably hit Hephaestus up to make something for you. That'll take some time. Probably a couple hours.
Gotcha.
Spectrometer.
I'm gonna check to see if the helmet already has something like that. I rolled a 10.
You know, how do I put this? To your knowledge of mass spectrometers and of devices to identify substances, your helmet has never been able to do that. But at the same point, you've never tried. So how would you go about testing it?
True. Helmet. I say out loud, helmet.
No response.
Show me how to identify arsenic.
No response.
It was worth a shot.
And Timothy Raines actually starts. He like goes. Sorry, that was good. That was a good one. What a zinger.
Thanks. All right. Hephaestus, black line. I'm going.
Okay, so you start following the black line.
Yep.
What does everyone else do while he goes to meet with Hephaestus?
Well, I'm still in the mess hall, so I'm just going to continue eating my crunched up top ramen.
Okay, that sounds good. Shard.
I actually asked to get something to eat.
So what do you say?
Is there anybody I can get something to eat around here?
You'd hear from immediately behind you. Sure, what do you want?
Pepperoni pizza?
And a pepperoni pizza would appear on the table in front of you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Barnabas,
Yeah.
what are you going to be doing while he goes to meet with Hephaestus?
I'm going to do a Google on Lake Show,
Okay.
sort of check out the area, see if there's anything interesting in the terrain that I need to take note of.
Well, it's a huge lake. I don't know what else to say. It's pretty remote. There isn't a lot of big cities on Lake Show itself. Most noteworthy thing that would pop up when you do a search for Lake Show is a what's the word I'm looking for? Is like a freestyle race that happens across Lake Show.
Race.
Like a swimming
When's that
thing.
race go down?
It's a yearly thing. There's several YouTubers that record it. And yeah, that's literally all that you get with Lake Show. When you do images, the most prevalent image that you get is either a picture with a boat floating in a lake with nothing on the horizon, or a clump of trees on the horizon, or one with a huge snow-capped mountain in the background. However, upon further research in Google, the one with the snow-capped peak in the background is not from Belarus. That one is from Japan, and that is Mount Fuji in the background. So
It's snowing on Mount Fuji.
Oh. Well, I forget. Is this suit that you made for me airtight? Does it have an environment? I asked Justice.
Justice would say there all of your suits have up to an hour of breathable air laced within them.
Right. Does it recharge if we leave the breathe? If we go underwater and get out, does it recharge the air? Or is it
Yes.
just 1 hour.
Um,
Okay.
There is a setting that will allow it to recharge the air. It is kind of noisy, so if you're going to be on a covert trip,
Ah,
you're not going to want to recharge
All
the
right.
air while at the locations. Air compressors tend to make some noise.
gotcha. But we do have spirits coming with us. Alright, interesting. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Trevor, what is Jack going to do while he leaves? Well, we've got the guy going, and
And
Jonah
Sway.
going to go talk to Facius.
And Sway?
Yes,
Do you,
you're calling on me.
Yeah, I was wondering if you had any insider ideas on this whole
Oh,
thing we're doing.
well, Lake Show is the geographic center of Europe. So some might say the soul of Europe itself resides in that lake.
All right, I'm not that bright, so I might need you to explain it a little clearer for me. Are you saying
Okay.
Belial is in the heart of all of Europe? Essentially?
Yes. Essentially, I'm saying that they are, if that is where they're located, then they are in the heart of Europe.
And what about what it is that we actually have to be doing? Do you have anything you could enlighten me on what you'd be able to help us with when we're in the thick of things?
All of what you guys are talking about is so trivial. It's all just
I know, it's all mortals in the land of the dying.
reality stuff. I mean,
I know. It's awful, and I hate it, and I wish I could be done with it, but unfortunately I gave my word to help with this, so I need to be able to do as best as I can, and that means you need to help me.
What would you like me to do?
Darling, I still barely know what it is you're capable of.
You're right on that part.
Is he speaking out loud, or is this an internal monologue?
You're
I
hearing
am
every
speaking out loud.
you're hearing everything Jack is saying. Well, I will do my best to help as long as you keep your promise to me.
All right, so could you give me some sort of idea of what you might be able to do to help us out when we're in the heart and soul of Europe, in Lake Show, or under it, or wherever this facility is? Like, I don't suppose you have the power to just kind of make this whole virus thing disappear, do you?
No. I deal in dreams and in the mind, not in the world of the dying.
So pipe dreams are not a thing then.
Well, pipe dreams exist with all reality in Lotham, but in Interim, no. There's certain laws of the universe that the physical world must abide by that the dream world does not. However, the dream world has its own rules, its own protectors, its own laws, its own punishments.
Like what?
And I can visit those upon the waking.
Bum Roach, while you're having a confab with your lady, ask her if she can. You said it's the spiritual center of Europe.
Yeah, she said it was something like that.
Can you talk to the lake?
Can I talk to a lake? Can you talk to the lake?
In a way, you are already.
I am.
The lake
Right.
itself is the inspiration, the way that most of the poets of the world have thought of the transmission into the realm of the dreams. And it being in the middle of Europe, all of Europe's dreams and thoughts and ideology and thoughts of how to dissect dreams ebb into that lake. So
Is this where you're gonna tell me that this is also the lake where the lady of the lake came out and threw a sword at that pasty white dude?
Oh, Malgear would be much better to tell you about stories of legends. But my understanding is those that have dreamed up the classics in Europe were inspired by Lake Show. And it being what it is, it's a very connected unto chaos and my lord of the dreams.
All right. Okay. I don't know what to do with that information.
Your mind is so small.
Yeah, well, that's why I tried to read. You know, The Art of War kind of got me thinking about the whole peace side of fighting. And then you were doing that other book, which was very interesting, but definitely different gears.
Well, I will promise you this: you won't be bored as long as you give yourself unto me willingly.
With time, as we discussed.
Oh, I know. That's your call, I guess. Meanwhile, Rafa, what's your character going to be doing while Jonah goes down to meet up with Hephaestus?
Oh, I was just gonna eat the ramen.
Oh, that's right. I think I already talked to you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so Jonah,
Yes, sir.
you make it down to Hephaestus's workshop. When you walk in, it's pitch black. There's flames. There's lots of smoke billowing everywhere. And you hear the sounds of hammers on steel, and it's just really immensely hot. And when the doors close behind you, it gets really bright, and it looks nothing like what you just experienced. And you see Hephaestus standing there, and he's sort of like smiling, and like the look on your face is priceless. I love doing that to people. Hi, how can I help? Yeah, that look right there.
Just give me a moment, please. Whew.
The air
Okay.
conditioning turns on.
Ah,
It cools down quickly.
can we maybe talk out of this room for a moment? Because that was a bit much.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go for a walk. The doors open again behind you, and you and him step out into the hallway.
Okay, so we're planning on going to Belarus, and in order to get some guidance on what we need to do and where we need to go, I was gonna see if you could install maybe some sort of recording software on my helmet. And another thing too is we were trying to see if there might be a way we could identify a chemical.
Any chemical in particular?
What was the chemical that we were looking for again?
Arsenic? Is that over the cam? Oh, over the mic, I mean.
Arsenic. That's the one we're looking for. And preferably if you could have it like just pop up in like the bottom corner of the screen at all times, whether it's positive or negative for arsenic. That way I don't have to try to like fumble around with the helmet and try to figure that out. That'd be good.
Okay. Yeah, I could work that up. I could figure that out. We'll see what we can do.
Cool. Do we both have to go back in your room again?
I'll have to go back in the room and take your helmet with me.
Okay.
Um,
But I don't have to go back in there?
no, you should be fine.
Okay, cool.
To go wherever you want, I'll have it delivered to you.
Cool. Thanks. I hope to never have to go in that room again. And I go back to the mess hall.
Okay. Meanwhile, yeah, so you go do that. Anyone else? So you guys are all sitting down doing the things you're talking about. You'd see Sandbag come walking back in eventually.
Yeah, he's fixing the helmet right now. So, who's all going with me? It's going to be me, Obscurity, and Fenmir, correct?
I think you're forgetting all the rest of us.
Okay, so we're all going. I wasn't sure. I was just double checking.
Because
I thought it was at first going to just be us, and now we're all going. Just making sure. And Shardman is coming too.
I'm gonna make an executive decision. It's probably too dangerous for him.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be a good idea to not have him, because while I might free him seeing himself would probably not be good. And I know what you might say, Bill, but no, you're wrong.
It's okay.
But yeah. You want to go, I forget what your new name is. Sidewinder, something like that. Do you want to go train with Ensway again? Is he there?
Justice would say, no, Sidewinder's my friend.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Do you want to go train with Ensway again?
Always.
Wait. Okay.
I'll
let's
waste
go
some
train with
time.
Ensway.
We're ready to go.
I didn't know if this was taking place at the same time or if it was.
Yeah, all of that was happening at the same time. So literally, when
so
he
I didn't know
came,
if I was still in a conversation or not.
when he came in, your conversation would have been over. So sorry about that.
I mean, I'm always down to train, but if we don't have time, then we don't have time.
Oh no, it's gonna take a few hours for Hephaestus to install that stuff, so we have time.
And then as soon as he's done, we have to leave.
Yeah, but
Then we probably shouldn't train because we need to make sure that we're all topped off.
I mean, I don't think our training took hours. I think it maybe took a couple minutes.
Right,
So
but when
up
I
to you, though.
train,
The point is,
I hit the bags for like 6 hours. So the point is, we don't have time for that. We need to make sure we're in prime shape to be showing up in Belial's headquarters.
Right, but if you don't know what Ensway does, that feels like it'd be more of a liability than a asset at that point.
What time of day is it?
With her.
So this was morning. You guys are pushing around 10 a.m. right now.
Okay, well, how about the library then? Someone go there?
Yeah, I might spend some time over in the library. I could do that
Alright.
unless I'm needed elsewhere by anybody else.
Well, you can go to the
Looking
library.
around invisibly to the rest of the group.
I'll probably go train again, even if it's by myself. I don't know if he can. Can he do that? Can he I asked Justice. Can he make things for me to train with? Does he simulate things?
Yes, he
Cool.
can simulate pretty much anything he wants to.
Oh, right. Then yeah, I'll go do that. You guys have fun.
Okay. So we're actually going to wrap it up here with you guys going your separate ways and doing your stuff for the time to pass. And we will pick this up next Sunday. Because I don't think there's enough time left in the stream for us to have you guys get started on the next part of the mission. So this is a good place to stop.
Cool.
All right.
Mission Impossible.
Oh man,
So-
next episode's
Belarus
gonna be
edition.
something.
Next episode, the Rooks invade Belial headquarters. Be there. So as a
Where?
yeah, right. So as a longer thank you and acknowledgments, I want to thank Dragon Gem Hairball for being outstanding people that have helped us out with quite a bit. Want to thank Endearing Films. Thanks Chuck for all of your hard work, especially in keeping the Skype thing going. I want to thank Goth Mom for the pins, patches, buttons. I want to thank and masks evidently now. I want soon to be now. You guys will hopefully see soon. I want to thank Four Eyes Ales for the wonderful brews. Hopefully this whole quarantine thing hasn't completely destroyed you guys' morale by now. Don't forget, we have lots of social medias. Follow us on all of them, especially on YouTube. Subscribe, it's free. We're getting towards the middle of the month, but don't forget you can also subscribe if you're an Amazon Prime member to Twitch and subscribe to us here for free as well. Once a month, you do have to reallocate that. Don't forget that we have merch out at our Zazzle store. Hopefully we'll have a merch store up shortly here on our stream as well as on YouTube. Once we get a certain number of viewers for YouTube, we can go ahead and throw that merch store in. Yeah, anyone else have anything else they want to close the stream with?
Well,
The
just for an
big-
example
Yes.
of the merch. I was just going to show the stuff that I got from Zazzle.
All right, go ahead.
So that's a
Woohoo!
moleskin notebook. And
Nice.
you can get different sizes. I got the largest size. And then, while there are other things, the only other thing that I did get was a shirt. It's got the logo on the front, as well as all that on the back. I don't know if you can read it.
Nice. Yeah, it's actually coming across pretty good today.
Nice.
Raise it a little bit higher. There we go. Perfect. Woo.
And a big thank you to USS Balthazar. Make sure you give them your support. They're supporting us for this entire month of April. They also help out disadvantaged youths get into things like role playing and cosplay, I believe, correct?
Roleplay, cosplay, theater in general. They help them get access to the educational programs they might not have access to normally.
Cool.
Also, go ahead, Trevor.
Oh, I was just going to say, so it's a great cause for you to support. And like I said, they're supporting us, so it's the least we can do is support them back.
Also, just gonna say, I can't wait for us to get back together once the quarantine's done to, pull out the minis and see what we have in store with that.
Yeah, there's lots of hinting going on. We're doing lots of changes here within HOH Presents. So hopefully you guys will stay abreast, become a patron. You'll find out more of this stuff sooner. As far as everything else goes, I also want to point out we do have a game on tomorrow at 5:30. It's Council of 10, another role-playing session. This one being in the realm of Senecus. And of course, Thursdays, 7 or 8:30 p.m. is Fortune Favors the Board with Rafa, or
Remember, it was Thursday.
or whomever is taking it over in the digital age that we're doing right now. All of that being said, thank you guys for watching. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you Sunday.